everyone, this is Nimish and today we're going to review the movie Guppy. This movie is a masterpiece and I think it's the best movie of 2016. I think it's one of the best movies ever made and it's definitely made my top 5 Malayalam movies list. So if anyone's going to ever ask me, until I watch a better movie, if they're going to ask me what's one of the good Malayalam movies I can watch, the first movie I'm going to say is Guppy, and in this review I'm going to go into the details as to why this movie is so perfect. So let's get right into the review without wasting any more time. I want to start with the visuals and I want to show you, and I'm going to drop some pictures just to explain my point. So my interest in the cinematography, the set design and the detailing of this movie started with this scene where you can see that the cycle, it's kind of colored. It's not a regular cycle. It's colored in shades of blue and orange, and I noticed that it matches the wall behind, which is also in the shades of blue and orange. I'm just referring to them as blue and orange because I'm not an expert in colors. And these two colors of the cycle on the wall matches his t-shirt which he's wearing. It also matches the t-shirt of the old man with the beard who's sitting there, and the chips packet which are there on the shop, along with the stools which are there, which are kept around the shop. When I noticed this scene, I was watching it, it struck me that, is this a mistake, like, by chance they got it, like a fluke kind of a thing. So then what I did is I kept an eye out to see if this was a conscious effort. So in the next scene, immediately following that, as you can see, the detailing is beyond normal. The effort that they have put in is clearly visible. The guy is wearing an orangish t-shirt with shades of blue. All the packets around him are in shades of orange. The water jug that you can see is in orange. Right behind the shop, there's a stick, there's a pole which is in the color of orange. The gas stove, which is normally, black in color, no color, steel color, has been made blue. The poster of the girl that you can see there is orange and blue. There's another poster on the left which has shades of orange and blue. And this scheme goes on throughout the movie. So I'm just going to pull up one last picture because I took just another screenshot. So you can see, of course, this is Srinivasan sir, but behind him there is a blue cupboard with blue walls, and the sheets that are placed in there are orange and shades of blue. And you can see this level of detailing throughout the movie. It's not even funny, like every scene has an orange or a blue or a turquoise to be detailed. It has either one of them or both of them for some reason or the other, either in terms of clothes, in terms of the flag on the railway station, some random decoration behind, some magazine, some poster, the color of the wall, the color of the glares. It's extreme detailing that this movie has gone to, which is exactly what makes it so visually appealing. The movie is available on YouTube. I watched it with subtitles, and if you guys haven't noticed this, pull up any scene, just pull up the YouTube video which I've attached a link for, pull up any scene and just observe the orange and the blue in each and every scene. Even the crates of the eggs in the shop were blue and orange. So it is phenomenal the effort the team has gone through to make each and everything of similar colors to get that visual appeal. So while most of you clearly will know that this movie, the cinematography, the director of photography have done a fantastic job and the visuals of this film is brilliant, this is one of the reasons. This is the effort they've gone through. It's not just a vision that you see which is automatically so beautiful that it's captured. It's actually a lot of effort gone in, as I just showed you with some of the screenshots. The whole movie is like this and it is fantastic. I just enjoyed each and every shot and the detailing that they've gone through. Secondly, let's go to the acting. The acting front, we have Tovino Thomas. If there is anyone who can give JOHNPAUL a run for his money, it is going to be Tovino Thomas. The range of his performance is fantastic, and while watching the movie I realized that he is the same actor who played the villain in ABCD. When I did the review of ABCD, which is not yet up on my YouTube, it will be up. When I did the review of ABCD, I did mention the villain's acting. I didn't know it was Tovino Thomas. I thought it's just another supporting actor. And I had noticed his acting back then. And when I just realized that he's the same actor, I was amazingly mind blown about this man. His performance is so good in every role that he does. And in this movie, he's shown a range and depth of emotions that is it's not even comparable. It's not replaceable. He's done an absolutely fantastic job. and he is good looking, and he's possibly working on his body, and he is stylish. So I think this guy is going to be huge in the future, because I think he's not done so many films yet. So he's going to be one of the biggest stars ever, and he's going to give everyone a run for their money, because he can act, and that's the most important thing you need along with everything else. So I loved his performance. The boy who played Guppy at such a young age, he's done something which Bollywood megastars can't even do today. He's performed outstandingly, and his role was also not simple. In fact, it was the most difficult role, because he has to go through a range of emotions and situations. He has to be the happy son, he has to be the naughty or the kind of troublemaker boy, he has to be the angry, short-tempered boy who gets irritated by people, and he has to be emotional towards the end. So his range was a huge range that is required from such a young boy. Outstanding performances altogether. And of course, just when the movie is coming to its fourth act and you're wondering that Tovino and the boy did a fantastic job and the movie is so good, the legend comes in with a critical and emotional scene where he steals the show with his performance. Yes, I'm talking about Srinivasan sir. He just stole the show with that performance of his in that one scene. Mind-blowing performance. In fact, I didn't know it was Srinivasan sir till I was watching, and I just felt that this guy looks like Vineet Srinivasan. It felt like Vineet Srinivasan suddenly got old and I'm watching an older version of him, and I was like, why does this guy look so similar? And then while watching, I realized that Vineet Srinivasan is actually the son of a very famous actor, and that's when I googled and checked. Oh yeah, okay, cool. So that's when I realized that it was actually Srinivasan sir himself. I've never watched him in any movie before. Fantastic performance, outstanding, and his presence throughout. I knew that there was something crucial going to happen with him, but the way the twists came and the way the emotions turned around was absolutely fantastic. Speaking about twists and emotions, the story is amazing. This is a completely story-driven, plot-driven movie, and it's not only the basic plot that I'm speaking about, but the twists which happen in the fourth act, which is a lot of twists, one after the other. Several stories come up, several backgrounds come up, and you guys know what I'm speaking about. These things were brilliantly written, because there's no way you can guess anything, and it's not even meant for you to guess. It's not that the director wanted you to keep guessing. The storytelling was such that you see something happen, you see things happen, you wonder, but you don't focus your time on guessing about how the plot turns. You don't want to fix the loopholes in the screen in the movie as it's going through, because it's made in such a way that we the audience just watch what's going on screen. We don't waste our time thinking, who must have done that, or what is his idea, what is his background story. We don't waste our time thinking, and that's the beauty of storytelling, because if it's a suspense oriented movie, you keep guessing and your mind is constantly thinking of who it might be, how it might have happened, what is his story. But that exactly what the director didn't allow us to do by keeping the movie and the screenplay so tight and keeping it extremely smoothly flowing from one place to another. It was just going smoothly, and so the twists when they came up and the background stories when they came up were extremely surprising. It made the surprise element double. It was like, wow, okay, I didn't expect that at all. So outstanding story, outstanding script, screenplay is perfect. It's not something outstanding, but it's perfect because that's how it needed to be. The direction, of course, as I've been mentioning, is super perfect. When each and every department is outstanding, the credit goes to the director. Of course, it's a team effort and filmmaking is a team effort, but it's the director who says if it's okay or not, how much detailing he wants, how many more takes he wants, which take was okay in the final selection, which take is okay for editing. So I would give a lot of credit to the director, and I was going to say that I want to watch all his movies when I came to know that this is a maiden directorial venture, which means it's a debut director, if I'm not mistaken, from what I came across. So I can't even believe this is a debut director's work, and that just goes to show how much potential talent is out there, and this director is going to make it huge. He's here to stay. He's made one of the best movies of 2016, and he has an extremely bright future. So outstanding work by the director also. The music. One area that I usually forget to speak about, and everyone's like, why don't you speak about the music? But this time I cannot forget it because it was an equally important part of the movie. Two things that if you noticed in this movie is that when the songs came, the speed of the scenes was adjusted to the speed of the song, which made us travel through those emotions and feel the songs and what's going on screen with the characters. So the pacing of the scenes were not like fast paced when the song is slow, or the song is fast and the visuals are slow. It was actually equally paced so that everything matches and we feel the music with the scene. And that is the beauty and the depth at which this movie is gone. It's not just a song thrown in there and a background music thrown in there which has no meaning. Each and every piece of music and background music that was there in this movie added to the movie, added to the effect and the impact, and it was fantastic. The songs were brilliant. There's one song which was some la 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 song. That song was superb. I really like the tune of that song. And of course the main song of the opening titles, which is the peppy number, which was there in the trailer. I liked it. For those of you who haven't seen the trailer reaction, I have also attached the link to that in the description. But anyway, this movie was outstanding. I'm so glad I watched it. I'm so glad it was so easily available on YouTube with subtitles. So thank you for that, whoever's uploaded that. But one thing that is really I would like you guys to take home from this review is the detailing. Even her veil, the burqa that she wears, was orange. You know, just go out there, even if you've noticed it, notice it again. I think this movie should be played as a kind of a teaching lesson, and an anatomy should be made out of it in film schools, where they go scene by scene, detailed understanding of every scene, how it was set up, how the scenes were taken. There were so many variety of scenes and camera angles that were used. Some were long shots, some were close shots, some were out of focus, some came into focus after the opening. So there was so much detailing used, so much variety used, that it was fantastic. Oh, and the ending, before I forget about that, the ending scenes, which was really fast, the story plot went suddenly, you know, scene, cut, movie end. Because they revealed a lot towards the end. So when Guppy goes and sits in the sea alone, he's depressed, he sits in the sea, he's shown as if he got washed away on the shore. And at that point, I felt that he kind of got an attack or something and he died out of depression or sadness, and he was just washed away, because that's how that scene was shot. It was literally he was washed away by the water on the shore. And I was like, okay. And then when the next scene came, you see that the shopkeeper is the one who's feeding the fish. There's no Guppy there, there's no boy, there's no mention of the boy anywhere. And then suddenly cut to the last scene where we see him with Tovino in the Himalayas. So we know that he's not dead, he's actually alive. And that's a beautiful twist and end to the story, which I think is worth mentioning. So it also ends on this very fulfilling note, and you get this extremely satisfied feeling just when you were beginning to think, don't tell me there's a double, triple tragedy in this movie. You get this brilliant feeling that they are free now, they are on a voyage. Each of them has experienced a loss in some way or the other, of a close one, and they are all taking time out for themselves. They are on this journey to explore themselves, their life. They are happy, and that's where the movie leaves us with. Another additional theme that I noticed was, because this movie was titled Guppy. Guppy is, I think the fishes are called guppies. So the one thing that I noticed in the crucial scene where he breaks the wall and all the fish start flowing out and they die, I noticed that all the things that happened in the first half lead up to this moment where the fish die. And it just shows that our actions have so much spiraling and butterfly effects. It just keeps going, and in the end, nature has to pay for it. So at that point, when the fish were dying and everything was happening, the only thing that came to my mind was that the nature has to pay for everything we do. People, because of their egos, their acts, their stupidity, do things that lead to 100 other things, and only nature pays for it. And at that point, I was not feeling bad for the boy if he lost his fish, or if he can't get a wheelchair for his mother or any such thing. Neither was I feeling anything about the revenge or wondering what might happen next. At that moment, the only thing I understood was that nature always pays, and we should take responsibility for our actions by looking forward as to what might happen in any way, which we very often don't do. So there are a lot of such sub-themes sent out in the movie every now and then. I'm just mentioning one which was very striking because the movie titled Guppy, which is the name of fish. But there are many such themes that sent out, including the main theme wherein Tovino comes in and he leaves at the end, with the same idea of the biking and of the traveling. It kind of tells you that you need to go explore, you need to find yourself. Tovino even says that I needed a break from everything. I was on a journey, and I was, and he's so happy. They are so happy when they travel, when they are exploring, when they're away from their little world of work and, their own comfort and home environment. So a lot of such themes are expressed in the movie, which is what makes this movie extremely perfect. There is not one mistake that I found. There is, of course, one point that I would have liked if it was added, is that if they showed the kind of the pesty characters of the boys, that they like troubling outsiders or they like getting into stupid issues, if they showed that before Tovino entered, that would have made the initial didn't gel well together, right? They didn't gel well the moment he stopped at the tea stall for his first cup of tea, and there was no reason. It just felt like, why is the boy acting so hostile towards Tovino? So only if I felt that if they had shown the boys and the small boys, young boys, get into some trouble before and try to, annoy people regularly, it would have been more effective, that it was natural for him to get, hostile towards Tovino. So that's one thing that could have been added. But this is a perfect movie. Nothing could have been better. This one point that I mentioned is just so that it gives us a better explanation of why that initial hostility happened. But overall, this is fantastic. It's the best movie of the year. It's in my top 5, and without any doubt, I'm giving this movie 5 stars because it's a maiden director, first time director with such natural performances. And I would say that Tovino is pretty new, and the boy, I've not seen him before, so he's also probably new. Great supporting cast, great technicals. This movie deserves more than a 5-star, but that's the limit. So 5 stars for Guppy. Everyone should watch it. No one should miss this mind-blowingly awesome piece of art. And once again, before I leave you, do go and check out the movie for the detailing they've done. I hope you like this review. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and keep watching.